Mwahaha! Welcome to the super spooky Halloween Bros episode. Mwahaha!
Nah, too much bass.
The following service announcement is brought to you by the makers of the new movie Ernest Dies of Lung Cancer. Don't smoke. Don't smoke. I wouldn't like me if I smoked. I wouldn't like you if you smoked. So don't smoke. Don't smoke. Jim Barney died, so don't smoke. Ernest faced cancer and lost. Wasn't like a troll in the movie we saw. Don't smoke. Oh yeah, we saw Ernest scared stupid motherfuckers, and it was dope. So don't smoke.
It's the cage. Young Sultan is the king and the guardian of the past, present, future are all
Hello and welcome to another Pros Bros podcast.
I'm Eddie Cruz.
And I am Jeff.
And this is a special podcast because it's a Halloween spooktacular edition.
Spooktacular.
Spooktacular. It's spooky. Super spooky.
Is it?
Yeah, we picked the scariest movie ever. If you go on IMDb, it is rated the scariest movie to ever be made.
You will literally shit your pants.
You will shit your pants when you see Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah.
Ernest P. Worrell is the scariest man in the whole wide world. Why did we pick this movie, Jeff?
You wanted to do a Halloween episode.
And I suggested like The Exorcist right off the bat because I was like, something really scary, something hardcore.
See, but to me, I was thinking that is scary. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure at one point we'll do more horror episodes. What will differentiate this from anything like that? And I was thinking maybe something that the setting is around Halloween time.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's also, going back to it, I fucking remember loving this movie as a kid. It was one of my favorites growing up.
I loved this movie, and I loved Ernest in particular.
I loved Ernest, but I have to say that this is probably the one where he goes to camp, and the one where he goes to jail, are the three that I can think about. Because there's a lot more Ernest movies.
Dude, the best one is Ernest Goes to Africa.
Really?
No, I haven't seen that. That seems really racist
to me.
That's
super racist. Well,
I saw the poster.
Racist, but
I saw the poster.
The poster
and I was like,
racist?
yeah, it looked racist.
It's just one of those things where, like, anything in the 90s when somebody goes to a land, it's usually pretty racist. Unless it's like Crocodile Dundee, in which case, it's not racist at all. Anyway, you want to go over the plot summary for this?
Sure. So, what happens in this movie...
it starts in like 1742 or something, right?
Yeah, you get the first scene is of trolls and Ernest's ancestor, Phineas, who is trying to trap and destroy trolls and ends up trapping him underneath this ginormous tree.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
a little strange.
It's like a fantasy movie. I can get behind that. So fast forward to present times, we see Ernest, typical Ernest. He's a trash dude? Is that what
like he's the entire trash collection entity in this town. They don't have trash men. They have a trash man.
You'd figure they would get him some help.
Yeah, some help, definitely. Maybe even just some gloves or something. I don't know. He seems like he's just like working like out of his garage. And it's kind of weird. You get like kind of a Doc Brown sense from him too.
Yeah.
It's like building weird contraptions to be able to do the trash better.
Which, when I was a kid, I thought that was super fucking awesome. But none of these contraptions actually work.
No, not at all. Yeah. It was like, oh my God, he's like an inventor. That was like a thing when we were a kid. Like, you can grow up to be an inventor. And inventors just make kooky things.
That half the time don't work.
Yeah. Yeah, like Doc Brown or Pee Wee Herman. No, Pee Wee Herman's shit worked. All of Pee Wee Herman's shit worked.
Did it?
Yeah, like in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
The Rube Goldberg, is that what it's called? Rube Goldberg experiment?
Barb?
Where like one thing leads to the other
I know what
sure
you're
that's
talking
what
about.
it's called. Anyway, so he's a trash man. What else?
So we find out about Ernest's ancestor through one of the main characters, the little girl. I forgot what her name is.
I forgot too.
Yeah, she's important, but not enough that we actually care.
No, I remembered absolutely nobody's name in this except for Ernest.
They aren't really like fleshed out characters.
Not
so
really. No.
You can say the little girl. So
The little blonde girl.
yeah,
Yeah. All right.
the little blonde girl. She's retelling of the town's history in a history class, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Once again, I wasn't really paying all that much attention to setting, plot, names, characters, nothing. Nothing.
So we'll fast forward. The kids all get along with Ernest.
Yeah, they love Ernest.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird.
The kids have an issue with some of the other kids. Daredevil, I remember his name.
Daredevil was in this?
Yes, the bully's name is Matt Murdock.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I did not catch that at all.
The kids build a little...
What if he grew up to be Netflix's Matt Murdock?
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, one of those kids at least definitely looked like his sidekick in the show. What's his sidekick's name in Daredevil?
Fozzie?
Fozzie. I'm pretty sure Fozzie was in this.
I mean, he looked like that.
Like
that
any
type.
of those white fat kids.
So these kids, the Murdochs are bullying the main characters. They destroy their clubhouse,
It
haunted
was
house.
actually a haunted house.
Yeah. They destroy that. They go to Ernest and ask for help. And Ernest launches into this tirade where he is multiple people.
Yeah, he's got like multiple personality disorder.
He does. And I do want to talk about that a little more in depth because that is super interesting.
Everybody was okay with it.
It is. And he's cross-dressing in the movie.
I mean, in his head? I mean, we got to go back to that. That's its own thing. We got to get through the plot first.
So the audience sees it as he's multiple people who's dressed up as multiple people. Whether or not that happens, we'll discuss that right now. So he launches into this thing about the a random historical event about the Ottoman Empire ending, which is, I think he kind of messed up a whole bunch of stuff, and I was really confused.
I was really confused in every speech he gave during that time.
So after that, his idea is like, oh, okay, we'll go into the forest and build a new clubhouse, build a new fort, a treehouse, and that'll protect you from them evil, blind Murdochs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not all Murdochs are blind.
So they go through the forest and end up finding the exact same tree that they buried the troll under in the very first part of the movie. And they decide to start building a clubhouse there.
Yeah, and Ernest, in it almost Evil Dead fashion, recites exactly what he needs to bring about the trolls to life. He's
in trying to explain what needs to be done to bring back the trolls and say, like, that'll never happen. You have to do this, 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 and this. He ends up doing it. The crazy lady from down the street comes up with, I don't know, she looked like old Lisa Bonet or something like that. Right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
She was like this crazy witch lady who does a lot of metallurgy and other stuff.
Yeah. Her door was really cool.
Yeah.
It had a bunch of hands made out of metal that would touch them against the other one to knock. So yeah, she comes up and she's like, "What did you do, Ernest? You're so stupid." Oh, and they also point out during the history thing that over the years, everybody in the Worrell line will become dumber and dumber over time.
Yeah, that's the curse that the
curse.
troll gives.
Yeah, so Ernest is now really dumb at this point, too. So he frees the troll, and then the kids, in good kid fashion, like two of them leave one of them behind. Like they're like, "Oh, we gotta go, even though we live right next door to each other. You stay here, and we're gonna take off." And he gets turned into a little wooden doll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what happens?
So after that, the kids come back to the treehouse and realize that there's a troll loose, correct?
I think they wake up the next day and are waiting for their friend at school, and their friend doesn't show up, and they realize that he's missing. Ernest sees the troll and tries to warn everybody, but nobody believes him. Remember that scene with the microphone?
Yeah.
Running through town.
Well, I mean, why would you believe Ernest?
Yeah,
He seems kind of like
dumb. He's a trash guy.
a literal trash guy, not a he's a trash dude.
He's
Like
not a trash human being.
Although he has no other friends other than kids.
which is weird. It's really strange, actually. Like, the alternate telling of this is really, really scary.
This part of the movie gets kind of difficult to explain plot-wise because you get a lot of hijinks with Ernest. And maybe when I was a kid, I thought this was fucking hilarious. But now watching it dragged a little bit too long for me. And it made it difficult to watch this,
I think
at least
from
in the center part.
a nostalgia point of view, I did enjoy his little antics. And I thought they were really, really funny. Even today, I was like, oh, this guy's really good at what he does. Like, there's a reason why Ernest became a thing. But at the same time, I'm like, I am no longer, that age for this thing. You know, I'm no longer, this is not funny to me anymore.
And basically what he's doing is running all over town, trying to get certain things to combat this troll. Mm-hmm. He's buying all this fake troll spray at the store that has random troll stuff for sale.
I guess those guys are in all the movies, and those two, and they're kind of like the characters from Huckleberry Finn. They're trying to sell snake water, you know.
Yeah, the Tulip
just
Bros.
Just like these two characters that are always there trying to hoodwink people.
I just thought it was funny that so no one believes Ernest about this troll, and then one day they manage to gather all this fake troll fighting equipment. Like, did they do the graphic design for all that, and they put the stickers on and sell it? Because that's fucking amazing.
They did that, and they also make incredibly large wheat paste to put over city signs.
That is a lot of fucking work to trick one motherfucker.
Those guys are actually really talented and are just wasting their talents.
They should do something else.
Yeah, maybe move out of that town or something. Maybe something's holding them back. Maybe it's just their love for getting Ernest into complicated situations.
Their love for picking on a mentally challenged adult keeps them in town.
I wouldn't go as far as mentally challenged. Yeah, you're right. He does have multiple personality disorder.
There's something wrong with him.
Yeah, there's a lot wrong with Ernest. So, to continue on with the plot, the troll starts collecting children. The troll has to collect 5 children to release all the other trolls, and I'm guessing, wreak havoc onto Earth.
Yeah, he's stealing their souls, and he has to do that by Halloween.
And they find out that they can actually kill the troll by pouring milk on him.
Miak.
Yeah, because in old ancient texts, they spelled milk differently.
You know, man, I still thought that was funny. I thought it was fucking hilarious when I was a kid.
When he came back with the Miak?
Yeah, that's when they had that payoff. I was like, that's pretty fucking funny.
That's pretty funny. He's like, I spent all day looking for this Miak.
I don't know if they should have showed this or not, but I'd like to see him. You know, they do this movie now, and he just goes on to Amazon Prime and does the 1-day shipping to get the Miak. Just this one quick scene. He didn't have to go all over town.
Yeah.
He gets a fucking drone to drop his Miak.
That was hilarious. That one scene when they're like, the dropper. And it's just like a little blimp with a mailbox carrier that drops 2 things of milk onto them that could have easily been thrown. Either way, they realize that the milk can kill the trolls. They kill all the trolls except for the main troll, who goes into the tree. And in very Freddy Krueger type manner from Freddy's Dead, when he's asking for that power and those little sperms are going into his chest, this troll is asking for the powers of evil to give him more power and gets a bunch of little spirits to go in him, and he becomes Super Troll.
Yeah, that whole scene was a lot darker than I remembered.
I remember this movie being really dark. Like that scene when she looks under her bed and then comes back up, the little girl, and then she has the troll sitting next to her. That freaked me out when I was a kid, man. That was so scary. This movie was gross for kids, and they turned to little puddles of goop.
Yeah, all the slime in this movie was kind
really
of gross.
Yeah. And when he kisses the troll at the end, so getting to the end, the Super Troll comes out, and Ernest tries to use milk on him. The milk doesn't work anymore, and the crazy old lady that looks like Lisa Bonet in her 70s or 60s goes, "You have to use a child's heart," and that's where she knows he's going to kill the troll because Ernest has the heart of a child. Ernest then proceeds to dance with the troll and kiss it on the mouth, and that turns the troll back in, or puts the troll back into the tree.
Because apparently dancing with the troll and then kissing it is unconditional love. Or a mother's love, right?
unconditional. No, it was child's love. A child's unconditional love.
Okay.
Because it's so pure of heart.
See, and I was thinking like this movie for me was sending out some weird messages.
So yeah, let's get into the creepy side of this movie. So that was the end of the movie. He sends the troll back and everything's happy in the world. What is up with a bunch of kids and their parents being okay with the kids hanging out with this 43-year-old man that has multiple personality disorder and plays with trash all day?
So this reminds me a lot of a show we both love, been watching a lot lately,
Buffy?
Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
So it's that same thing where these
Yeah.
kids don't have the fucking parents around.
Yeah,
And they
just
just do
whatever they want. Yeah. That, I mean, in Stranger Things, at least they point out the fact that most of the parents are either dealing with their own shit or going crazy like Winona Ryder.
Except for that black kid who knows where his parents
That
are.
guy's parents are dead. That guy's parents are not around at all. So yeah, it definitely has a lot of the tropes that 80s movies had. This movie came out in 1991, so Stand By Me and all those movies had come out, and I can feel like the director or whoever the producers were of this movie saying, we want to have a Stand By Me but with Ernest in it, right? And they put together this gem.
To me, it's not that bad. It is creepy as an adult watching it and seeing like, why the fuck are all these kids hanging out with this adult, and why is this adult just okay with it? But then you start to think about it. Ernest himself is kind of a child.
Well, yes. Then the children start going missing. And who would be the number one person that the
You're gonna
police
blame
would,
Ernest?
Wouldn't Ernest be
that's
the
motherfucking
wouldn't-
Ernest?
Yeah, wouldn't Ernest be the one that they would all turn to think like this guy definitely took our children? Especially when he shows up with a trash bin that has two of the kids inside of it, and the first thing he says is, "Do you want me to squish them?" That's what he says to the kid's father. Is standing there. He's like, "Do you want me to squish them?" Then the cop, I don't even want to start with this, points his gun like at the trash can as it's opening. Could have killed one of the kids. They never took off their masks. Like they're in this garbage, the back of a garbage truck for how long? They don't take off their masks. They still look like trolls. The cop's about to shoot them, and they're like, "Oh, Ernest, you're so stupid. You caught the kids, and you thought they were trolls." Yeah, and then obviously they fire him.
So in real life, either Ernest gets committed or he's sent to prison for attempted murder.
In real life, Making a Murder Season 2 would have been on Ernest P. Worrell. And it would have been like, no, he didn't intend to kill these kids. I don't know. It's just kind of ridiculous that after kids start to go missing, this crazy guy that's screaming about trolls is still allowed to hang out with all the children.
Do you think he's actually in charge of the trash in the town? Or maybe someone else has that job and they just let him... He managed
Like he's
to get
a town
truck.
idiot?
Yeah, he managed to get a truck.
I would say that
that
would be fine if this... I'm pretty sure this happens in the same town every time. So like it's Ernest goes to jail, Ernest goes to camp. All that stuff is in the same town. And in the other movie, they put him in jail. So he isn't like this nice guy that everybody loves, apparently, in my opinion.
And he's still allowed to hang out with all these kids.
And he's still allowed to hang out with all these kids, man. In that one, he was a happy-go-lucky custodial guy.
They cut the scene where he had to go to his probation officer's office and take a piss test.
There you go. Oh, man, that piss would have been dirty. Just all sorts of milk. But I'm talking about like Clockwork Orange milk. What did you say about Ernest's history?
So I wanted to... Sorry, got me all... Because I was going to say something else about that.
Okay.
Sorry, my brain's all fucking fucked up today. My brain's all fucked today.
It's fine. Mine too. It's too early to be doing this.
You brought up milk right now, and I wanted to say something that I thought was kind of disturbing to me.
The way that milk smells after you spray it on somebody?
No, well, just this idea, and I talked about earlier, I thought it was like this mother's unconditional love. And to me, it would make sense in a kind of gross way that it would be milk that would kill these trolls, because that's what nurtures a child, right? Mm-hmm. And if it's an unconditional love, which is typically from a mother, that's the ultimate that kills a child. So I think that worked really well. But when you start to overthink about it and all these kids squirting milk at a troll in that mindset, it's pretty gross and kind of disturbed me a little bit.
Yeah, it's really disgusting. And also on top of that, it's cow's milk that they're squirting at them. So it's like not even, how was that mother's milk at this point? Can it be anybody's milk? Can it be like a fucking yak milk, sheep's milk, goat's milk?
Some kid threw some soy milk at one of the trolls, and that troll just fucking ripped him apart.
Yeah, that one kid that has hippie parents is throwing almond milk, and he's just getting eaten by the trolls. And also, another thing is, what's the goal for the trolls? Like, how many kids is enough? After that, are they going to start killing people? What? I don't understand the motive here. They obviously couldn't make it too graphic because it's a kids show, but no death or anything like that for sure. But it just seemed kind of weird. Like, what do they want?
Yeah.
They don't kill anybody, right? They just turn people into wooden statues, and I get that. That's to create more trolls. But do they have to keep on putting everybody into wooden statues to create more trolls? Or is there like a limit to where now we have enough troll pods? After that, are they going to start killing people, living off of the meat? I don't get it. There's just nothing there.
There's not a good reason why these. It looks cool, and then you get to see Rimshot as a little wooden dog. I think that's why they wanted to do this.
Yeah, the whole thing was based on Rimjob. His dog.
His trusty dog,
his
Rimjob.
Rimjob, the trustiest dog in the world. Wouldn't that also like the Budweiser dog? Spuds McKendy, different dog. Never mind.
I don't know.
Never mind. It is pretty gross, Jeff. The milk thing is pretty gross.
That idea just fucking weirded me out.
Yeah, a little bit.
So can I go on a totally fucking another weird tangent that I thought of?
Is this
movie?
On Ernest and his craziness?
Yeah, it's involving that.
Okay.
So we talked about Ernest's origin, and he is cursed. Each generation of Worrell gets dumber and dumber. They make this comment that Ernest is the seventh son of the seventh son. Did you catch that?
No.
The crazy old Lisa Bonet makes that. And I was like, whoa, that's interesting to just throw in there.
The seventh son of the seventh son.
Yeah.
All right.
So, in folklore,
so he's like
it's
really, 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 really dumb.
Yeah, well, not even that he's really dumb.
Super inbred?
No, the seventh son of the seventh son is like in folklore and fantasy. He's like the badass. He's like the chosen one, the one that's destined to either save the world or curse the world, which Ernest did in this movie.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. By the end, he is the hero and he saves the day.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens
Supposing
later on.
that the trolls had bad intentions. Maybe they wanted to actually give us all money afterward.
Or turning us into trees made us all immortal and turned us all into Groot.
There you go. And then turned the world back into a great place for an ecosystem. Like set everything right, stopped global warming.
Ernest fucked up.
He fucked it up.
So I started to think of Ernest as this prophesized character in this Ernest world.
Okay.
And I started to think of him as kind of a Deadpool-esque superhero. So one, we get the fact, and you mentioned it earlier, that he has multiple personalities.
Yeah, and consistent multiple personalities. It's not just anybody. There's like 7 other characters in his head. There's a war general. There's the old lady.
The Ottoman guy, who Ernest is in brown face for that.
Yeah, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, but I guess in 91, that's okay for a kid's movie?
Yeah, I guess so. Fine.
Hey, are there any minorities in this town of Briarville? Is that where it's at?
I didn't see a single minority. No, everybody was white.
Okay, so no minorities, and James Varney is in brown face.
Yeah.
Okay, just clearing that up.
Good. Everything's set there.
There is, who else? I guess Australian dude with the mustache.
Yeah, the Australian mustache guy.
There is the other older woman with the hairspray. Mm-hmm. Shit, man. There's a whole bunch.
There's a whole bunch of alternate egos that he has.
So when he's doing that the first time, is he doing that to the children?
I don't know. It's one of those ones where I'm like, if he is, then he's not dressing up, and in my mind, he's just standing there doing these voices and picturing himself looking different. That's what I assume is actually happening.
Okay, then another question. If he is not doing it for the children, is he doing it for the audience?
Yeah, so he's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, that's what I gathered. Not the first time. The second time, I felt that was a little stronger when he's doing the final battle in the treehouse and he's doing the voices. It's clearly for the audience. Mm-hmm. There's also a scene where he looks directly at the camera and starts laughing. So it's almost he is aware
that part where he gets his hand caught inside the garbage can, looks at the camera, looks at his hand, looks at the camera, looks at his hand, looks at the camera, does it 2 more times just to make it hilarious. And then starts screaming.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
I thought that was actually really, really good.
So again, breaking the fourth wall is... They don't mention this, but you could gather he is aware that there's a camera there, and he's looking at the camera.
I think that's absolutely 100% true.
So multiple personality, breaking the fourth wall, and can Ernest be hurt? Because he gets smashed in a trash compactor.
I was going to say that. It's incredibly violent things happen to him, and he gets away scotch-free?
Scot-free?
Scot-free? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I assume it's something derogatory towards Scottish people.
I thought it was scotch-free, like scotch-free when you do the stuff when you're ironing. You scotch, right?
You scotch guard everything.
Scotch guard, that's what it's called.
I know, we'll have to look this up at some point.
Yeah.
Does he get smashed in this giant bear trap, or does it launch him up into the air, or what is that?
Either way, he'd be incredibly hurt.
Yeah. So... Again, he can't really get hurt.
Multiple personality disorder, breaks the fourth wall. These are all Deadpool. Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess those were my 3 major things.
Yeah, the only thing he's missing is like a healing factor.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a healing factor. He's insane. He does have, this isn't really Deadpool, but he does have this weird fascination. Maybe not fascination, but he's kind of a child at heart, which Deadpool is.
If he likes chimichangas and guns, we got a Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's it. I agree. I never even thought about that while I was watching this. I really, really love the character of Ernest. I think that it's really funny that he got this whole start from car commercials. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. He definitely wasn't a character at all that was supposed to have movies. He was just so good at these car commercials that they decided to hire him for Fox.
And you get a sense of that even in this movie when he's doing a commercial for either the audience or the trolls. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but definitely breaking the fourth wall there too. And
motherfuckers, Deadpool.
And, yeah, multiple ways too. Referencing how he got his start and then doing a blatant commercial for a car. Yeah.
So I was also thinking, you know, I too like the character of Ernest because he's fucking interesting. You think he's an imbecile, and he kind of is, but at certain points he's either very well read or has these small just glimpses of either brilliance or I don't know what you would call it. He mentions like Taoist thought. He mentions this one quote saying, you know, I'm going to butcher it, I think, but every journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, what is that? Is that Taoist or Taoist? And I had to look that up. I was like, fuck, it is. And Ernest just says this randomly.
I think that's more Jim Varney coming through.
You think so?
I think they're like, hey, can you just improvise for us? And he was a classically trained theater artist.
But they could have gotten rid of it because that just makes to me, even if it is him coming through, that makes the character of Ernest that much more dynamic. Because it's like, this guy's supposed to be an imbecile, but he's quoting, you know, Taoist philosophers, and he's also quoting Napoleon Bonaparte and these other like amazing quotes and things that he just pulls out. And it's not like a random quote. It's very, you know, on the nose about what's going on in the scene.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's pretty cool. I think overall, the character of Ernest is a lot more fleshed out than we assume by just watching these silly movies. However, I don't think he ever really got his fair shake, right? Jim Varney, I mean, besides Ernest, what has he done? I mean, he was Jethro. Was he Jethro in the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah.
He was Pa.
I don't remember which character
he was. The father of the Beverly Hillbillies, and he was the Slinky toy in Toy Story.
Yeah. That's the only other thing I remembered him from.
Besides that, I don't think Jim Varney ever really got his fair shake, man. I think he could have been great in a lot of movies.
I guess when people realize, oh, he's Ernest, he will always be Ernest. And he kind of got fucked that way.
Yeah, which is kind of one of those double meanings. Oh, you're just so earnest.
The importance of being earnest.
Oh, man.
That's an Ernest movie, right?
Yeah.
The importance of being earnest. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, that's my favorite. That was the best one. That came right after Christmas.
In between Christmas and Ernest Goes to Africa. Hopefully he's not in blackface for that.
He might have been.
That's rough.
Ugh, it's hard to be earnest.
So you saw that everybody's riding bikes, right?
Yeah.
2 different characters stop to fix their bikes
Mm-hmm.
in the movie. The little girl and old-ass Lisa Bonet. What the
Old-ass
fuck are they
Lisa
doing?
I'm not sure. She had a tool and was tightening the bike tire?
To me, it looked like
Well-
she was tightening her pedals, which is weird because why would you carry a pedal wrench with you or any tool if you're a little girl to go to a park and tighten your pedals or loosen your pedals?
I don't know.
And the old lady, I have no idea what the fuck she was doing. I assume she was putting her chain back on, the chain ring, but even then it looked fucking weird. It's basically actors that were told to fix the bike, and they're all, fuck, what do? I'll just put it upside down and spin it and touch some shit. And that only bothers me because I work at a bike shop.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else. I mean, I didn't pick up on it.
I go, what the fuck are you doing?
Why do you have a pedal wrench?
It might be the same with
Where'd
all
you get
the-
that pedal wrench? You steal my pedal wrench?
So, fucking pedal wrench, motherfucker. This little girl with a fucking pedal wrench. Jim Varney can't make a machine, a device to save his fucking life, but this girl's walking around with a pedal wrench.
Yeah. She's got the whole belt. She's got a whole bike belt.
A bike belt.
Bike belt. What do you think about the special effects? I thought they were actually pretty good for this movie. This movie and Ernest Goes to Jail are the only 2 in the whole Ernest series that I think look even close to being theater grade movies. All the other movies look straight to video. They are all straight to video, right?
I think
Or
so. I don't
they were
remember
made
them
for,
being in...
at least made for TV, straight to television.
Yeah, and even this one has a little bit of that look. Some of the things I liked about it, I didn't like the little ghost or soul CGI. That was kind of lame.
That looked more like painted on the cell than anything else.
And even though the trolls looked so ridiculous, I kind of liked the way they look. I
Yeah.
thought they looked creepy.
Just the right amount of slime.
And I did like the cheesy sets.
Yeah. It definitely felt like they actually created a little world there for them. Really cheap world.
It wasn't a bad looking movie. When I was watching it right now, I wasn't like, oh my god, the look of this is so fucking awful. I can't take it.
Yeah. I'd agree with you on that. I didn't think it was horrible.
So you enjoyed watching it this time around?
Yeah, as much as one could at 34 years of age.
I feel the same way. There's parts I liked. I thought the middle really dragged.
Yeah, it took me 2 times watching this. I tried watching it last night and fell asleep, just out cold, man.
I watched the first 20 minutes last night, and I was like, shit, I'm tired. I gotta go to bed. And then I watched the rest this morning, and I tried to get out of the mindset that I was in, because I really didn't want to watch this, only because I had started watching Atlanta.
Which is amazing.
Fucking badass
If you're not watching Atlanta, you need to watch Atlanta.
And we're going to do a podcast on that eventually, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Atlanta is a retelling of the hip-hop history of New York City, obviously. I'm just joking.
But yeah, so I was in that mindset. I had to shake that to watch this movie a little bit, because you can't go from one great thing and be like, I wish I could be watching this.
Yeah.
And it was only in that middle part where it started to drag. Once the last third started to happen and all the action scenes, it's like, okay, this is entertaining again.
Yeah, it was good. To be honest, I didn't have any problem watching it. Had trouble watching it, a little bit more trouble than I would have if I was 8. But the first time I saw this movie, it came out in 1991. I remember seeing it. I remember Stop and Go. I went to Stop and Go. I got a Ninja Turtles watch because my mom got $30 of gas or more, and they were giving them out for free, or like for $1 if you got gas with a purchase of gas. And I was really stoked, and I went home turned on the TV and watched Ernest Scared Stupid around Halloween time, and it was really rad.
Sounds like a good day for
Yeah.
8-year-olds.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, I was 10.
Oh, for 10.
So it was-
Either way, I think I was somewhere
Nine. I
no
was
older than
9.
12. Probably between 12 or 10 and 12 when I saw this.
Yeah, I remember watching it when it was released, and that was 1991, so I was 9 years old. Super stoked on it. Loved it.
I did too.
Loved it when it came out.
It's the second time I've seen this movie.
Yeah. I will never see it again, probably.
There will be no third.
No, well, I'm having a daughter next month, so maybe one more
She
time.
is not going to want to watch the Ernest movie.
If she's 2, maybe 3, maybe 4.
She's not going to say, Dad, can you please put on the Ernest movies?
Oh, man, well, I'm going to buy them all. I'm going to have them all on tape, have a VHS player right next to it.
Hey, so have you heard this about Ernest being the originator of the troll face?
No.
You've seen that troll face meme, right? The guy where he's grinning and you can see his teeth and he has his lip curled up on one side. I'll show you when we get off, but
All right.
he's not the one, what's his name? James Varney isn't the one who made that, but I've heard rumors that was made off of his face.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
from specifically
I know
this
they
movie.
created the whole ew thing where you like go ew and you move your jaw back and forth.
That's weird
slowly.
to do.
Yeah, it's hard and
Yeah, but
creepy.
apparently the creator of the meme, and this is just a rumor, I don't think he would actually admit to this because then he might have to pay likeness royalties. The creator of that meme used James Varney's face in this movie. It's that scene where he backs up over the troll and he says something about, I don't know, kiss my bumper, booger lips or something like that.
Oh, I remember that. Kiss my bumper, booger lips.
And then he has this weird fucking grin.
Yeah.
It's just a rumor, but who knows? I thought that was interesting when I read.
Nice. Nice. Well, that's good. Well, rest in peace, Jim Varney. And it's just a reminder not to smoke. Don't smoke or you'll end up like Ernest. Lung cancer.
Why? Don't end it on a downer.
Well,
On
it
a downer,
sucks.
dude.
Okay, well, do smoke and you might end up like Ernest.
You will always be in our heart of child's hearts.
Yeah.
Ernest P.
You-
Worrell.
We'll miss you, Ernie. Hey guys, I hope you guys liked that episode. We're just here to remind you to rate and review us on iTunes.
Yeah, and please subscribe. That helps out a lot. Comment on any podcast you want on Twitter, on our website. Also, check out the Pros Bros Visit Sunnydale, our Buffy-specific podcast. It's the same fucking podcast, so you know where to find it.
It's just about Buffy, and that's awesome. Also support other El Paso podcasts like Podmax and Void Horror.
I would say thank you.
Oh, that's sweet. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jeff.